Hey, this is Trip with Trip's Vids, and it's been a while since I've posted anything regarding the build of the Turret IRONMAN 650. I've had quite a few flights, and I've pretty much gotten everything I need for some time now. And I know there's been several people subscribed, so I just wanted to update everybody on where I'm at with it. I've had a lot of flights, and it's set up for FPV at this time. Done a little work, so I was just going to shoot a vid to show everybody what everything looks like under the canopy. Wanted to show everybody my transmitter setup, the batteries that I'm using, everything that I've got on the actual drone, and just so you can see where I'm at. I've made my own acrylic chassis system for my transmitter, and it also holds the monitor, the FPV receiver, and I've got it all wired up to where it runs off of one single 3S pack, including my transmitter, so it's pretty nice. I'm able to turn the whole assembly on and off with one switch, and it's been working really well running it this way. I've got a buck regulator adjusting all the voltage down to 8.6, and everything runs just fine on 8.6 volts. Made several modifications to the quad itself. I made a battery tray. It's a little more sturdy than the original one I did. It's actually a double layer to clear the bushings that are right under here. Made that out of acrylic as well. It's zip tied. That's an 8,000 milliamp pack on there. And that's how it would balance out with the GoPro and the gimbal, as well as my FPV camera, which is mounted directly on the nose on top of the actual gimbal base. The camera's mounted to the top side, so it actually takes advantage of some of the anti-vibration that provides. I'll go ahead and take the canopy off so you guys can look underneath again. Just wanted you to see where I'm at. I don't have the drone turned on. Some people asked earlier on when they saw me mount the heli canopy on here. Basically, it's just a T-Rex 500 heli canopy that I had lying around, and I modified it quite a bit, cut it down, trimmed off the bottom, cut the sides back to clear the blades. So I have plenty of clearance there. I have about 1.25 inches of clearance. But the mounts I used were some heli mounts that I modified as well with the standard grommet. So that's the only 2 points that actually hold the canopy on, one on either side. And then the front actually locks underneath the 2 booms. It actually snugs in there really well, so I haven't had any issues with it coming off or shifting in flight. I'll go ahead and okay, now that I got the canopy off, you can see a little bit more of what's underneath it. Obviously, it's got the NASA unit, like I mentioned in previous videos. Got a regulator on here. This drops the voltage down to 12.1 volts. The reason I'm doing that is because the FPV camera and my LEDs and whatnot that I've got on here, I'll run at 12 volts. And with a 4S fully charged 8,000 milliamp pack, you can see I'm at 16.2 volts right there. It's pretty fresh. I did about a 5-minute flight on it earlier, so I can get about 15 to 20 minutes with that battery. These multi-rotor 610s, or multi-star 610s by Turnigy, and these are 15.5 props. Actually, they might be 14.5s. I need to go back and check. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've looked at it. But so these little regulators are pretty neat. You can get them on eBay. They're really inexpensive. I got like 10 of them for like $5 or $6, but they've worked really well. That little brass screw right there on the very top. That is how you adjust the voltage. Once you have a load on it, you can also, you would want to wire in a small LED voltage indicator. And as you turn that screw counterclockwise, your voltage decreases. You have to actually back it out quite a bit before you see any action or reaction. But that's just an auxiliary power source, and as you can see, there's I usually take some servo plugs, glue them together, the female ones, put a little heat shrink on it, and that makes a port. So I've got 3 plugs coming off of that to use for accessories. And then back here, I used my setup hub, as mentioned maybe previously, to run everything else off of my 16.2. I've got some more accessory plug ports that I've made over here. So there's quite a few things going on this. A lot of it's unnecessary, like LEDs, little beacon light up top there. Got some tail lights. It's pretty large LEDs up in the front here, underneath, and then the 2 at the very front tips. So right in the front here, I've got the Boss Cam TS832 transmitter for FPV, and it's just got a little piece of soft Velcro on the back so it doesn't create any friction, and it's just zip tied to those 2 posts in the center of the front upper and lower plate. Here's my FPV camera. Of course, the GoPro. And again, if you weren't aware, I am still running the 4-in-1 regulator, or I'm sorry, speed control. It's nested under there. It's been working just fine. As far as additional batteries, I've got another 8,000 milliamp pack, 4S pack, a 5800, and 2 5,000 milliamp packs. Like I mentioned, I've gotten 15 to 20 minutes with the 8,000 pack. I get about 10 minutes with the 5,000s, and I haven't actually flown with the 5800, but I imagine I'll get probably 10 to 12 minutes with that as well. These are all 4S packs, Zippies, all ordered by through Hobby King. The 8,000 packs came from overseas. I think all of my 5,000 and the 5800 I was able to get out of the U.S. warehouse. That was a couple of months ago, so I haven't looked at their site to see where they're at with product on the U.S. Closer look at the transmitter chassis. This is actually one of my Magpul rifle slings that I've didn't really have to modify too much. I added these 2 leads in the back to stabilize the tray. It's pretty well balanced, but at the angle I like to hold my transmitter, it helps it with a little bit of a forward lean and puts it up just above my stomach is where I like it to be. It's got palm rests. I'm typically a thumb flyer, but with the drones I do pinch the sticks occasionally when I'm filming stuff. See if I can get you a better view of the back side and what I've got going on back here. It's all 1/4" acrylic. You can see there's some radius bends. I have an acrylic bender that I made a while back. I make several saltwater reef tanks out of acrylic, so I was pretty much set up to make little parts out of acrylic. It's pretty easy once you've got a system down. And then again, I've got a gang of accessory ports that you can see right here, which is just essentially a bunch of little Futaba servo style plugs glued side by side together and then just mounted on a little block, and I have 2 extra ports there. Underneath I have my Turnigy Nanotech. It's a 6,000 milliamp pack. It's a 3S pack, which puts me in that 12 volt range. And there's my little regulator again on the bottom here, and that's outputting to my actual Futaba transmitter. Cool thing about this is I have a have it all wired up so it's got a charge lead on the opposite side. But when I got power shut off with this master switch, I can just charge this pack right off this lead right here. It's got adjustable, you can customize the location, 2 pivoting points, so you can really angle the the monitor screen to suit your needs. And the sun shield, which is absolutely necessary. And to be honest with you, this one's not even long enough, and it's about 6.5 inches deep. It all tapers a little bit, so sun still finds its way in and creates glare on the screen, which I cannot stand. But it's basically, the sunscreen is just velcroed on. Makes it real easy for transport, because I'm able to fold all this up with the screen facing down. It's going to be hard to show you that with holding the camera, but I'll go ahead and fold it up and you can see what it looks like when I transport it. Okay, so that's basically what I do. I just fold it down, fold the screen down, just sits down like that. Grab it and set it in the back seat of my truck. I don't get carried away with all the fancy cases and all of that. It's just more stuff to lug around. This is a pretty simple setup for me. And it's been working. This is my Tarot IRONMAN 650. I hope some of this helps. If you guys have any questions, I'll try to respond. I don't get on there all the time, but go ahead and ask. I check a couple times a week. All right, thanks. Thanks for watching, guys.